they made her into a distraction, which is one of their favorite things to do. Like OJ. OJ was made into a distraction.
Almost everything you read in the paper is a made-up distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, try to name one that's real.
Yeah.
I can't even think
it's
of
hard.
one.
It's hard to come up with stuff like, you know.
I can't think of a single thing that's happening right now that isn't totally
orchestrated.
Right, contrived, planned.
Well, speaking of contrived and planned things, it is time for me to work one of my special voodoo art curses. I was able to go to the Dallas area over the past week, and I visited the State Fair, which was fun. And I also happened to go to the site of the JFK assassination. And, you know, it's a public place. It's just kind of a road and a small little plaza they built during the Great Depression.
It's public?
Yeah, it's public.
Wow.
Now, where he died is actually a street. Cars drive over it, you know, every day.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If he died at the hospital, maybe not. But, like, where he actually got shot was, like, in the street. And they have a big old X that marks the spot.
They do that same shit to Princess Diana.
Yeah. It's kind of morbid. People are always taking pictures. But anyway. So, there's also the book depository where Oswald supposedly fired off the fatal shot. And up there, they have this thing called the 6th Floor Museum.
The 6th floor
The
museum?
6th Floor Museum. And it's a museum about JFK and the assassination. And they're very strange. And they don't actually let you see out the window where Oswald supposedly fired the fatal shot.
Oh, you would think they'd be the center of it.
No, they don't actually let you see out that window. They blocked it off with plexiglass and covered it up with boxes.
Well, why would they do that?
Well, obviously, because they don't want you to be able to look out that window and say, there's no fucking way that JFK was shot from this window, because if you look at the X in the street, he was far down the road. It just doesn't happen the way that the Warren Commission said. And if you go to that museum, you know for a fact. Because you walk up there and you're like, hello. It's impossible. It's just impossible.
Yeah, it had to have been,
fired from the front. It was fired from the front. It snapped his head back. I mean, everybody saw the Zapruder movie.
Right, the entrance wound is small. The exit wound is huge. Blew the back of his head off. It came in like that.
Yeah, so we...
slight angle because part of his face was blown off. But, I mean, you can tell it wasn't exactly right in front. It was off to the side.
The window where Oswald supposedly fired the shot is completely... Behind.
It's
behind and way far up.
6th floor,
if he had been shot by Oswald, he would have gone in the back of his head and possibly the very top.
Yeah, and it really wouldn't have been very good for the sight lines for the Zapruder film. But it looked really freaky, and you would have gone, did his head just explode?
Yeah. So anyway.
You know, there wouldn't have been his face, you know, afterwards.
So anyway, the reason why I'm putting a curse on the 6th Floor Museum specifically and auxiliarily all of the people involved in the JFK assassination and the cover-up.
You know who you are.
Yes, you do. You all know.
And you know you're watching. I know you are.
Or one of your minions is watching and writing a report. So,
and you know who you are. Because, like, half of them live in this town. I don't know why we're like a magnet for the elite.
So, anyway, I went to this museum. I paid an exorbitant fee to go inside. They have posted everywhere signs saying you cannot take pictures inside our museum. And so I was like, well, I want to take a picture of like, my little stuffed armadillo, because I've got pictures of him all over the world.
Usually it's
in places that I visited.
Usually it's just flash.
And so I turned the flash off, you know, thinking like if I can take pictures inside the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
But not in the room
in New York City. But not of Winnie the Pooh, that's right.
Because all the benefactors on the, or all the...
Yeah.
What do you call them?
I don't know. esters. Anyway, so I went far away to a secluded corner. I turned my flash off. I put Mr. Armadillo on the banister of a stairwell, and I proceeded to take his portrait inside the museum. Away from the exhibits, there was nobody around, and keep this in mind. I squeezed off a test shot, which is what you see here. And, as you can see, there's nothing. There's nothing there.
It's like a ghost or something. It's like a head.
Well, it's because the exposure was bad, and I was holding the camera, and it kind of...
Where's the armadillo?
Well, he's not in. This was my test shot to see if it would turn out. And anyway, I took this shot and then put Armadillo up on the banister and took a second shot. And then immediately a security person came out of nowhere and demanded that I not only stop taking photographs, but that I erase the photographs that I had already taken. And that person walked up to me and stood right next to me and watched while I deleted the picture that I had just taken. Now, I was lucky in that I just pretended like I took only one picture, in that I saved this one, which was the test shot without the armadillo.
Now, why would they give a fuck?
Exactly! That's what I want to know. Why would they give a shit?
Warehouse.
Yeah, like there's nothing in this picture.
You can't
there's nothing.
You can't even get near the window where he shot out of.
This is not even near it. This is nowhere near it. In fact, this is in a part of the building that's on the other side. Like, you can't even see it from there. But they still immediately knew that I was taking a photograph. And the only way they could know that is if they were watching on their security cameras, which were abundant, and looked to see.
They're everywhere. They're looking at you.
They're watching me. So I put a curse on them, because what the fuck do they have to hide? That's what I want to know.
Well, they killed it. That's it.
Yeah.
They killed
I'm tired of this Warren Commission bullshit. They shot JFK. They fucking assassinated his ass in Dallas, Texas, and the evidence is right there.
And it obviously involves people who are from Texas, because you don't do that kind of, you don't shit where you eat.
No.
So they weren't from Texas. I mean, they weren't from Dallas.
No.
But they sure as hell are from Texas.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I'm not calling out like my countrymen, but I think these are basically carpetbaggers who've come in, stolen our natural resources, moved it offshore, and blamed the whole downfall of Western civilization on our poor state.
Yeah.
When, you know, basically it's a really rich, good state.
Yeah.
A bunch of assholes live here, but there's some good people, right?
There's resources that you could be independent if you needed to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you don't get them harsh winters.
No, it's like nice here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I just need to point this out real fast before I complete my curse. That this photograph, even though it was taken away from any of the exhibits, and it does not show the actual window where the purported assassination took place, it does provide a somewhat example of how they blocked off the original window. They have also blocked off this window. I think it's just for decorative effect, you know, like as a balance, because they're on opposite corners of the building. But you can see that they have stacked the boxes so that you can't actually look out the window. And then, just to make sure nobody goes through there, they put plexiglass around the whole thing. Now, if you go to any kind of art museum in New York City, you can actually look at the art. It's not protected by plexiglass. They put a sensor around the bottom of the floor that lets people know when you have broken the invisible line. So then the security guard comes. But this museum has taken the extra step to make sure that nobody gets their nose up in that fucking window. This isn't the window. This is just what it kind of looks like.
I've been to the window because...
Used to. This is the other thing. You could go there and look at it.
Because, you know, the man hadn't caught on to the whole fact that it's a money-making exploit.
Right.
They didn't think anyone would care.
Yeah, now